Hello everybody. So I wanted to share with you a junk journal that I've been working on. I made it out of a Treasury of Literature for Children book. The measurements are 7.5 by 10.5 and the spine is 2 inches thick and it is covered in fabric just to kind of reinforce and hold everything together. So the book did not need any kind of seal because it was in pretty good shape, so I just left it how it was. But on the inside, what I did for the front and back cover was I measured out scrapbook paper and just kind of put it as a background if you wanted to, add something or write something here. It is not going anywhere. So the book has 7 signatures with 10 pages in each signature, 10 papers in each signature rather, and in several of the spots there are things that I have taped in, like envelopes and pouches, just to kind of give you an idea. So this book is filled with all different kinds of pattern papers, dyed papers, everything. This book started out as a for fun kind of journal, and it turned into something I actually really liked. So I'm excited about how this came out. So first we have here a piece of scrapbook paper, some construction paper with a little pocket tuck spot here. There are not very many decorations in this book because it is just to be used as a book to tape things in, to tuck things in. Originally I was going to keep this for myself, but I ended up deciding to post it on Etsy. So we have coffee dyed paper all throughout the book, craft paper, which I love the way that feels, some lined school paper, more coffee dyed paper. I also have pages in here from a child craft book. I want to say it's like some kind of world child craft book, I'm not sure. Also some ledger paper. If pages are a little too long, I've kind of folded them in just so everything is kind of within the same size. But the sizes are varying. I just didn't want anything to kind of come out beyond the side there. So I have some scrapbook paper from a maps and ledgers pad, some coffee dyed lined paper, and there's the middle of my signature. The other side of that child craft paper, I used a section about Alaska because that is where I am currently located. So I thought that was neat. Coffee dyed paper, craft paper, more coffee dyed paper. I have left all folds, creases, everything like that in here just to kind of, keep it authentic, the back of this. So that's the end of the first signature, and like I said, I have taped in things like envelopes. You can stick things in here. You can take this out if that's what you want. This is graphic 45 paper that I found at a thrift shop. Yeah, that was a really neat find. Some more of this ledger paper. It's regular white paper, lined paper. This is from that map and ledger scrapbook paper pad. I included a lot of blank pages, like just white pages and lined pages, green lined pages, just in case, for you to add pictures or your own writing or anything like that. Coffee dyed paper of varying folds and sizes and lengths. This is a map page from that scrapbook pad that is a pocket that you could use. Like I said, I folded some things to keep everything kind of uniform. There's the back of that. I love this map paper, it's so pretty. I also left a lot of the scrapbook paper just white on the back. You can do what you please with that. Ledger paper, the other side of the graphic 45. That is the second signature, and that signature starts with craft paper. This is just some drawing paper that's been just aged because it's been around for so long. It's thin, but not too thin. It's thinner than like a regular construction paper, but not as thin as like a tracing paper. Some more coffee dyed paper. This is just from a collection of children's stories. Another little tuck in here. This is just regular construction paper. This is was like a small writing tablet. You can kind of see there are some like little tiny bits of lines left, but it's mostly just been dyed and the lines just kind of washed out. I still think it looks cool, and it's a really nice texture. I like the way that turned out. It's the center of the signature, coffee dyed paper. The other side of that, Treasury of children's stories, more coffee dyed paper, regular paper. I love the way this is aged on the edges here. Craft paper, I've taped in a sewing pattern pouch that you can use to collect things in, or because it's washi taped in, you can remove it if you'd like, put it somewhere else. This is some scrapbook paper that I found at a thrift store. Some more of that drawing paper. This is a page from a children's book. It's like an A to Z children's book. Some ledger paper. This page is really neat because on one half, it's supposed to be lengthwise. On one half is lines, and on the top half is just a blank page. It's supposed to be for children to draw a picture and then write a story, or write a story and draw a picture, whatever. I've seen it used in various classrooms, but I found a pad of this at a thrift store, and I was super excited about that. This is from that map and ledger paper scrapbook pad. Construction paper. This, you'll see on the other half, is a piece of stationery paper. Some dyed lined paper. This is fabric dyed paper. I found like I think it's like a Rit dye. It was like a light pink. I love the way that turned out. Here's the other half of that stationery page. I love that. So vintage farm style. Here's the other half of that. The lined paper's on this half, and this is just the plain paper. It gives your journal a little something different. Ledger paper, the other half of the A to Z children's book. This is, I believe, the last page on the signature, and then I just stuffed a little pocket in there. This is some coffee dyed scrapbook paper, and it's been glued to make a pocket. I have taped in here just a piece of scrapbook paper. Some more of that vintage drawing paper, craft paper, fabric dyed paper, that stationery. This is construction paper with just a little tuck in here. Some more fabric dyed paper. This is a page from this actual book, the Treasury of Children's Stories. The pages are really nicely aged, although the book on the outside isn't aged at all, which was kind of cool. Drawing paper, just a piece of mini green lined paper in the middle of the signature. You can also, when you get this, decide you want to glue here and make this a pocket. It's up to you. Yeah, the other side, these illustrations are really pretty, so I liked the way that looked in the book. Again, this is just a kind of a jumble of all different kinds of papers, and I just threw anything in here. This, like I said, it was originally for me, but I loved the way it turned out so much I wanted to share it. Fabric dyed paper, construction paper, the other side of that stationery, fabric dyed paper and craft paper. I love this scrapbook paper with the birds on it. And like I said, I left a lot of the scrapbook paper just blank on the back. You can put pictures or write or, you know, do anything to it. The ledger paper is pretty long, so I made most of those pages fold out. Another original page from this book. This is like a little mini lined paper, some coffee dyed paper, fabric dyed paper, scrapbook paper, lined paper. You know, I love these illustrations. They're really pretty, and they're so nicely aged. Measure paper, drawing paper rather, and the end of that. This last signature here is has scrapbook paper on the outside. This has a little tuck here. This is the only big scrapbook paper that I put anything on. I also tried to vary the sizes of and lengths and widths of the coffee dyed paper I used. This is just like a piece of legal paper that is long and I folded. Some more of that lined paper. This, on the back of this, on both sides here, are pockets. some lined paper. This is some of that tablet paper that was lined and kind of the lines got lost in the process. You can see some of that blue still. Some coffee dyed paper. There are plenty of spots in here for you to write, plenty of spots for you to tuck things in, add things, tape things in if you wanted to, add pictures, kind of just document, you know, your daily life. And that is the last page. So like I said, both the front and back cover have this scrapbook paper, and the book closes nicely. There's plenty of room for it to grow. It is covered in fabric, so your signatures are not going anywhere. It's a nice size. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And you can find this in my Etsy shop, and that will be linked in the description box down below.